Welcome to the Treble Tapes podcast episode 4, where we discuss everything Manchester United. We are going to start with the Bruno Fernandes to Saudi rumors. We're going to talk about Turkey Al Sheikh bid, or is he not involved in the bid? Is just a fan, or the UAE taking over Manchester United, setting a price of 5 billion for Manchester United. Are they investors? Do they want to buy the whole thing? What is the discussions between the UAE and the Glazers behind Sir Jim's back? All those type of things we're going to discuss, and right here, right now, let's go. Again, when it comes to Bruno Fernandes, I'm always somebody who backs Bruno Fernandes heavily because he keeps it consistent. Now, over the international break, Bruno Fernandes had an interview, and I'm going to read from the Evening News, Manchester Evening News. And this is what Bruno Fernandes said when asked about the Saudi bid, over the summer and also this coming season. This is what Bruno Fernandes said, I quote, "I didn't close the door on moving to Saudi Arabia because of the World Cup. That was never in my mind. I wanted to stay at Manchester United and the club wanted me to stay. That's all there is to it." When pressed regarding interest from Saudi Arabia, Bruno Fernandes said, that's an impossible scenario to imagine because there's nothing that's been discussed with me. He's talking about this season. When it was discussed with me, I spoke only with you at the press conference before the Nations League match. I like to enjoy the moment, and the most important thing for me now is representing the national team, because it's a source of enormous pride to be able to play tomorrow. That's Saturday. That's today, I think, and I still don't know if I will play, let alone if I will leave Manchester United in a year. I'm happy where I'm at. Otherwise, I wouldn't have stayed. But it's something that doesn't affect me. Yeah. So that is what Bruno Fernandes said, and that's the quote. We're gonna break it down and see where we stand with this. Now, here are my thoughts. Right? If Bruno Fernandes wanted to leave, he would have left with the amount of money the Saudi was offering him, 100 million, right? He would have left to help the club. But he wanted to stay after speaking to his family, and the club wanted him to stay. So I just don't understand where fans are going after Bruno Fernandes, putting him as the primary scapegoat this season, which most of us saw it coming, right? When you talk about a player who truly loves the club and wants to stay, he is doing everything possible to make sure that he stays. And he has been trying everything to, you know, to serve the club as he can, being the best captain there is. Well, you cannot compare him to the class of 99. You just cannot do that, right? We are talking about this day and age captains and what it means to stay in the club. Manchester United fans, stop admiring other players and looking at your own players and downgrading them, because when you do that, you depreciate your players, and you don't see what they actually do per game. Yes, guaranteed this season has not gone well because of the manager, I would say. When you start playing Bruno Fernandes very deep, where that is not that's not where he has been flourishing, what do you expect? That's like taking a mechanic saying he should now all of a sudden be an IT expert. Like, that's crazy. I know some of you will look at this and say, yes, he's a footballer, he's supposed to adapt. But yes, Do you give footballers adaptation period? Do you? He's supposed to adapt. Yes, it's been a year now for Ruben Amorim adapting. Tell me who has adapted well for these players. I know some of you will bring up Mason Mount, but Mason Mount hardly plays, and when he plays, he's fantastic, right? I'm gonna put him out of it because he knew the system from Chelsea. But you cannot, out of a sudden, where Manchester United is counter-attack deep in DNA, now out of a sudden switch to something completely new, and they are trying to adapt. We cannot even say that about Bruno Fernandes, because when he goes to Portugal, how do you think Bruno Fernandes plays? Because definitely I can tell you Martinez plays a certain system, a different system, by the way. It's not the same thing. Or now I can hear you guys' thoughts. Oh, he plays alongside the best in Vitinha and Ale, who's the other person? They play in the midfield. I mean, that just suggests if Bruno Fernandes leave Manchester United and play alongside the best midfielders in the world, he is gonna flourish. So, which makes your argument non-existent, because it goes down back to the manager and the type of managers we have had at this club. He has always performed. So the obsession of selling Bruno Fernandes, I will never understand it. People are putting Arsenal players as world class. This is one thing I want to talk about too. People are putting Arsenal players as world class, right? I'm asking myself, how do you even begin to comprehend this new crop of players as world class? AKA, yes, I will say it, Bukayo Saka, because he's participating in the Champions League. Is that what it takes right now? Because when you're talking about consistency, we have to keep the same energy when it comes to Bruno Fernandes. But because you fans are lying to yourselves, and Manchester United fans are enabling this rubbish and this stupidity, that this is what happens. I will never get it. When it comes to numbers, for a midfielder, it is out there. Sky Sports put it there. The Premier League put it. In fact, all outlets I saw it today. Bruno Fernandes, he has the most goals and assists as the midfielder in the Premier League. No other midfielder has ever neared him. You see what I'm saying? So you cannot compare him to any other midfielder. You cannot do that. He is on his own league. So remove the hate for Manchester United and actually look at the player. I'm not just saying this because I'm a Manchester United fan. No. Or I like Bruno Fernandes. No. I'm saying it as a fan of football. When you remove the hate glasses or the love glasses for in two ways, look at the player and look at the numbers he's putting as a midfielder, assist as a midfielder. On every single metric you look at in the Premier League, if you see Mo Salah as the highest goal scorer, right? Somewhere below, you're going to see Bruno Fernandes. He was not supposed to be this. Because we don't have strikers who actually score goals. Guess what? He's the one carrying Manchester United literally on his back. That's why he's the captain and does what he does. If he was money hungry, he would have left to Saudi. He would have left Manchester United. But no, he is staying because he's happy. His family is growing up there. He has a child. He has children actually growing up there. He is literally Manchester United. So I just don't understand the obsession with fans trying to sell somebody who has the highest goals for the club and consistently performs well for the club. Again, remove this season. Because last season and this season, even last season, he was the highest goal scorer. Despite us finishing at 15th. And this season, he has become even worse because he's playing in the wrong position and the manager is playing him there. Again, no players improve under this manager. None. Everything is individual quality. I would say even Mason Mount, it's individual quality. It's not about even the position they play. So again, that just tells you everything, right? Stop being disingenuous and just say it as it is. It will not cost you anything. Bruno Fernandes did not do something to your family for you to be acting this way and being angry and hate him for no reason. Yes, he has games that upsets people. After that, calm the F down. Again, it goes back to my argument. What makes you think you can put Bukayo Saka as a world-class player, which I rate Bukayo Saka. Oh my God, I do rate him. And I want to say he is world-class so bad. But if I'm doing that to Bukayo Saka, I have to do that for Bruno Fernandes. People act as if Bruno Fernandes play only for Manchester United and no club and no other club or no other national team. He's playing for Portugal, for Christ's sake. And he is still scoring goals regardless of whoever is playing up front, regardless of Cristiano Ronaldo playing or whoever is playing up front for them. He is still scoring a lot of goals, scoring and giving assist a lot of goals. When you talk about Portugal, Bruno Fernandes' name is the next. After Cristiano Ronaldo, there are so many individuals there, right? Of course, PSG players, of course, Manchester United or Manchester City, and Manchester United players. Like, you cannot escape that. So I just don't understand why fans are acting this way. You cannot blame Bruno Fernandes this season. The manager is truly playing him in a wrong position. Hence, he is going, like, literally losing his mind out there to the point where he is missing two penalties in a row. When have you seen that ever since Bruno Fernandes started playing for this club? I think it has been 8 to 9 years now, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me down the comments. He has always performed, always score penalties. Looking at him this season, he is literally not playing well. Yet we want to disregard all the passes, all the assists, all the goals he scores, and how he tries to command these players to play. These are also big personalities. So again, say what you want about Bruno Fernandes, but do not disregard his work rate and how committed he wants to be at the club. Some of y'all getting angry, we should have sold Bruno Fernandes. We should have sold. No, the club is literally coming out, and Bruno Fernandes literally coming out and saying, hey, the club wanted me to stay, and also I wanted to stay, so there was no problem. The manager in Ruben Amorim wanted him to stay, called him, begged him to stay. He stayed. So if anything is going wrong, divert your energies to Ineos, divert your energy to the manager, not Bruno Fernandes. That was just my thought, and to break down what is going on, for the club. As for Joshua Zirkzee and Kobe Mainoo transfer this season, I don't know. The story seems to be dying down, but at the same time, I keep seeing one or two things pop up because this manager is not playing both of them. It's a shame that we have to talk about Joshua Zirkzee and Kobe Mainoo in a manner in which you would think these players were not performing well. And I don't know, it is crazy what I'm seeing for the club, which we will talk about moving on. Before going ahead with this video, I wish I had a thobe with me. I mean, I'm talking about Turkey Al Sheikh making a tweet, was it on Friday? That actually was or Thursday. Some like that actually broke the internet, talking about Manchester United. And this is what he said on his first tweet to Manchester United. The best news I heard today is that Manchester United is now in an advanced stage of completing a deal to sell to a new investor, I hope it's better than the previous owners who taking a dig at the Glazers, or let me say, uh, yeah, at the Glazers actually. So yeah, this is what Turkey Al Sheikh came out and said. Eh, I mean, the good thing is when the news like this come out, or something, when a quote like this comes out, I always like to take my time to read, understand it in a couple of days, and then I break down what is happening. What is happening, and when you look at that, you're asking yourself, wait, who is this guy, by the way? This is somebody that is literally, when you talk about sports, all kinds of sports, they want all kind of sports to Saudi. He is the one making everything happens business wise. They got the money, they got the resources. He is the one in charge of all of that, right? I'm talking about WWE. For those of y'all who are not versed to these WWE situations, again, I'm a fan watching wrestling for a long, long time, right? And still do in some instances this year, by the way. But due to work, I cannot be watching every single time, but I try to catch up. Taking over, you know, having a partnership with American investors, buying the whole thing to Saudi, making everybody go there. Is he Sheikh is the one making it happen, right? When you talk about that, this dot, he is the one trying to make that go to Saudi as well, right? Now, when you talk about the acquisition, not talk less of the football happening there. Cristiano Ronaldo is there, you understand? So the whole tournaments and the whole thing when it comes to sports, he is trying to make that happen. Basketball is trying to go there as well. It's an American thing, but Turkey Al Sheikh is literally the front runner to what you see today. So he is that kind of a person. So he's just not a regular, sheikh coming out and saying, "Oh no, I'm a fan of my United," this and that. No, like this is he is deeply rooted in sports, and he happens to be a Manchester United fan. Now he came out, while the England media, or let me say, all of the media of the whole world is looking at this, asking questions. He came out the following day and doubled down with his second tweet, which reads, "My tweets yesterday post about Manchester United potential sale meant one thing. The club is now in advanced negotiation phase with a new investor. Just to clarify, I am not the investor, nor are they from my nation. I'm posting this as a fan who wishes the deal to happen, though it might not necessarily happen." Now, let me break that down there. Um, he is talking about, what he has heard, right? Again, it's a strategic way. It's a good strategic way of breaking news, because again, they they would have not allowed him to say that, and up to date, nobody has actually shut these rumors down or shut this tweet down, right? He looks like the primary guy to release this information from what he has heard, right? Of course, he's trying to, like, distance himself from this. That that means he's not trying to involve in anything, but he was the one breaking out the news. So you can actually see how important this is, right? This is not an information we should just be joking about. Like I said previously, I like to take my time to read a couple of days, and then I break it down to how I see it. Now, from other outlets that I have seen and from other things I've read, the UAE are heavily involved in this. He is a fan. Well, let me not put it in air quotes. He says he's a fan, which I've seen some couple of tweets going back, way back, even when before Eric Ten Hag, before Jose, he has been a fan, right, of Manchester United. That is clear right there. Now, for him to actually come out with these statements and put it out there, and nobody has shut it down, that means it is happening. Now, let's talk about the UAE being involved in this and how much they are trying to put in as a 5 billion. Is it pounds or is it, I don't know what they use, I don't know, like, is it pounds, is it euros, is it whatever they use, like 5 billion as an investor for Manchester United, which means the club I mean the Glazers have been communicating with the UAE for this deal, which means Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos knew about this. They knew about this because it must be in their own contracts. The Glazers are allowed to make other acquisitions. I mean, make other uh, investments, or let other investors come in and bid for the club as well. So Sir Jim Ratcliffe knew about this. This is not just coming out from a thin air, and he is in no way, shape, or form not expecting this. Now, what will happen moving forward is we are going to expect an interview of Sir Jim explaining what all of this is. Well, to his own knowledge, because he has no idea this is going by the way, but at the same time, he knew this will happen. So he knew, right? While Sir Jim Ratcliffe has invested in a club, making and having deals with Coca-Cola, Snapdragon, as we all can see from the jersey, and also other deals he has come close with, putting the training facilities, brand new training facilities, rebuilding, certain areas of Carrington, and try to get a new pitch, a new football pitch, for Manchester United. And we saw the prototypes. So Ineos are literally investing for the club, while the Glazers continue to suck dry of this club. They are literally putting Ineos in the forefront, stepping back behind and making other deals, right? Which comes down to the fact that they are now having conversations with the UAE, or let me say Turkish Al Sheikh, denying the fact that he's not involved, he's just a fan. Like, makes all of this now very clear and understandable what the Glazers are all about, right? We all know as Manchester United fans that they are parasites sucking dry the club. If the club did not have this big fan base of literally a billion followers, or Manchester United fans, the club will not stand the rate at which they have bleed dry this club, and Ineos are suffering, taking the bullets of what they have done so far, right? Now, pushing this to the UAE, we know they have the money, the oil money. We know they have oh my God, the finances, the know-how, you know, the means to make sure that this club works, right? Again, we cannot compare this to PSG. We cannot compare this to Newcastle. We just cannot do that, because again, these are different entities. These are different people coming to have a share of Manchester United, right? Because when you look at the trajectory of Manchester United, it might increase in 2 years' time, being now is at 5 billion, right? Say in 2 years' time it increases to 10 billion. If Manchester United start entering now into Champions League, Europa League, what they get, like all of these competitions, right? It helps, let alone win trophies and some stuff. It helps build the club up back to its glory days, and it increases the value of the club. So the UAE are literally looking for a means to get in there and have a share of what is happening, right? So again, like I said, I myself, right? I want the Saudis is not the Saudis, is the UAE to have a share of this. I really do, because if they finally see what they can do to get the club, then definitely they're going to do it to make sure that they get the club. And we know they have the resources, we know they have the means to make sure that we get the best players, invest in certain things, certain facilities for the club, and make sure that we have the best of the best, as Ineos are really struggling to make sure that happens. We also have investors that can do it all, right? We know in the summer where, in not this summer, but the last two summers where Manchester United was being offered to the transfer market, and um Ineos, like the Glazers, wanted to sell. We clearly saw what was happening, and I mean, there's no way you can sit here and say, oh, all of this will not happen, oh, it will not happen, it will not happen, and keep lying to yourself, right? So you know you have to see what is there right in front of you, right? And when you also look at the fact that, so far so good, we still have depths for in the club, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe has not been able to get that done, which is not a simple thing to do, by the way. You know, the Glazers literally have bleed the club dry in all angles. Again, I'm repeating myself, but it just comes down to the fact that we are still talking about, investors taking over, buying the club. At this point, shows you everything you need to know. It shows you everything you need to know for the club. So that is what I'm saying. When it comes to the Saudis, or let me say not the Saudis, the UAE, and uh individual players to individual players to get this club, right, to acquire Manchester United. So yeah, that is it. But now, when you talk about, there's something I want to talk about as well. When they talk about the culture, because I see some fans already moving ahead of time, talking about the culture of Manchester United, or the culture of England and all of that. How will the Arabs take over the club, and what are they gonna do? They are not gonna, like, look at the culture of Manchester United and bring it together. They are not gonna do that. They're just gonna, put their own things in it and make it. No, guys, when you acquire something like a club like this, in this magnitude, definitely you're gonna put your own stamp and how you want to see things, right? But when you have fans for the club, because again, Turkey, I say, have no business, like, he has no business coming out and saying, oh, I'm just a fan I'm a fan of my United, and I really wish this happens. He has no business saying that. He has other better things to do. You feel me? There's boxing going on at Saudi right now, heavily. You feel me? There's basketball coming there. There's a lot of things that are gonna go on there. We're talking about comedy as well, right? They are trying to get all the comedians, the big comedians, to go there right now. He has nothing to do with Manchester United. Let alone, he would have looked at any other club. But Man United is there. Man United is struggling, and he is sitting there as a fan with a lot of wealth, a lot of money, saying, I could do something. I'm not talking about, I mean, of course, if he would have been left to Turkey as Sheikh, that would have been possible. But I'm talking about other, entities with a lot of money looking at Manchester United saying, this is a mess. We can fix this like this. And the Glazers have investments. They have a mall in 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 Saudi. They have a mall in Saudi, so they have businesses with these people, right? So literally, you cannot look at that and say, "Oh, why are we? Why are we selling it to people who will never keep the culture the same, or that will never carry on the mantle of what Manchester United is? Bring it to the forefront and make it still the same." You cannot judge until you see what they are all about. And that is the problem right there with Manchester United fans. Always negative and never looking at the bright side or never trying to grow. Again, we are in 2025, getting in 2026. You need to grow up. There's AI already available. Like, how are you going to fight against that? You have to grow up with the times. The old ways are the old ways. It happened when I look at videos from 1930, right? I always like to watch because I always like to remind myself, like, wow, look at how the world has come so far. You have to grow with the times. Stop letting fear take away the possibilities of actually making your club grow. So again, that's just my thoughts on the whole Sheikh Al Turkey Al Sheikh thing and the UAE getting involved. How much are they going to put for the club? What does it mean for um um Sir Jim Ratcliffe? What does it mean for the whole club? The Glazers, out by the way, which I will keep on saying it. What does it mean for the whole thing? This is not about flags. This is not about any other thing. This is just simply on the fact that I want to see my club grow. I want to see my club flourish. I want to see my club be in the best possible position to keep on winning games, keep on winning, in all facets of the club. Literally, we are a big fan base for a reason. We should be acting like it. And so far, this is what is coming out concerning the transfer news this break. Talking about the international break, what we expect to see from the players. Most of our players are in the international break. Brazil playing very far, Cameroon, going very far, Portugal going very far. I mean, literally, you have, other countries as well. Morocco, again, when we talk about, our players coming back after this international break, what we expect from them, my attention is no more at Ruben Amorim. Partially, but my attention is onto Ineos right now. What Sir Jim Ratcliffe came out and said about giving Ruben Amorim 3 years of seeing where he's at, if he deems himself the best manager. Listen, it is ridiculous, right? Because that is literally telling the fans they have no say. The fans have nothing to offer when it comes to this club, right? We are there just to buy shirts and give them money, and our opinions never count, right? I'm not saying fans are entitled to anything, but I'm just saying fans are very important. Fans make the club, not the other way around. Fans make the club, not the other way around. So we have watched Ruben Amorim for the past last year till now, getting to 1 year. For the past year, fail and break all type of records. If this man is breaking records from World War II, you can imagine the level of failure he has gone down to, and the level of made much some Man United fans have accepted for us to keep on going like this. Another discussion comes up. If we sack this manager, who are we getting? Why the same cycle repeats itself? And I'm asking myself, like, I'm asking you guys, if we do not sack Ruben Amorim or sack any other manager that is failing, why did we sack Eric Ten Hag then? Why did we do that? Don't tell me because the club was taken over. No, they would have just left him because he won us two trophies, by the way, and with a crop of players that are not better than these players. They are not. Well, if we had competent managers, they would have been. Because you cannot tell me Rasmus Højlund out of a sudden now is now balling out of his skin at Napoli. Marcus Rashford balling at Barcelona with how many goals and assists? With Anthony, Real Betis, balling. Fred left. What a player, by the way. There's Elanga. There's a lot of players that have left Manchester United and now balling. So tell me, this comes down not only to the magnitude of the players and the pressure they get, it also the type of managers we have had. You understand? So the fact that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is giving this guy 3 years to evaluate what he's gonna do, which is basically his contract 2 years plus one, is pathetic and it is stupid to me. I'm looking at it saying, listen, I do not understand it. The fans do not understand it. Would this manager take us to relegation before you actually say, oh, now we should sack him? Because you don't want the cycle to keep on going? Because you don't want you don't want to keep on seeing us sack managers? No. I made the example of us, I made the example of us going to a restaurant and the chef keeps on burning your food. I don't think you will come back there. Or let alone you actually call the real manager of the place and say, hey, listen, this guy keeps on burning food. My favorite restaurant is now having a chef that is burning food. You will give a complaint and the chef will be sacked. The chef will be sacked. They will get another one. He keeps going, they get another one till they get the right one. So why can you accept that and never accept the fact that Man United are in a position where they cannot afford to keep on failing like this? Like, it is pathetic and it is weird for us fans to keep on accepting mediocrity for real. So look at this with open-minded, with reasoning, and saying there's no reason for us to keep on avoiding the inevitable. Ruben Amorim has two ways to go. I wanted him to stay. I wanted him to stay for long as possible, but you have to prove yourself. Where has that gone to? Where has the fact that you have to prove yourself gone to? When you talk about managers and players, we are quick to write off players and say sell them, but we are not looking at that saying, hey, he needs to fix up or else he gets sacked. Why do fans need to be accepting this? So what I'm saying is, when these players come back from the break, we need to see improvements. We need to see them take on Liverpool and actually beat them so that they go down 4 in a row and we climb up the table. We might be third, we might be second, who knows? We just need to win our games. That was episode 4 of the Treble Tapes podcast. Make sure you follow me on all social media. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. We are a community, Manchester United, or even non-Manchester United fans who like to listen to podcasts and also watch some videos on YouTube, TikTok, whatever. Follow me on all socials. It's going to be down on the descriptions. Let's go. Peace.